Hi, and welcome to the Culverdocs update for version 1.6. In this video, I just want to run you through some of the new features and functionality that we've been working on over the last few months. Based on your great feedback and what we've already received, we've been working hard to implement a lot of them into Culverdocs, and we're currently rolling them out to all of your accounts, so you'll start seeing them appear in the near future. Just to note, this by far isn't an exhaustive list, and I just wanted to focus on the main benefits to the majority of our users. However, we'll also be working on future videos and email updates for any advanced functionality that haven't quite made it into this video. The key areas I wanted to cover off today are the Express login, branding updates, documents, the new form experience, and many of the updates to existing fields and new field types which have just been released. So let's just jump straight into the Express login. This has been around for a little while, so you may have already used it. But what we try to do is simplify the rollout process for all of our end users. Previously, all users would have to log in with their username and password, which is fine if they're remote, but typically larger rollouts are handled by IT and can be quite time-consuming having to enter the details all the time. In this situation, you'll find a handy QR code presenter on your new user and password screen that allows you to log in by scanning the QR code from the app. Moving on to the app branding, within your account settings you'll now find a few new options. Firstly, you can upload an app icon, which is the logo that's shown in the header, and also the mobile app welcome header and welcome text is the information that's shown on the app the first time they log in. So even though it's quite a small touch, it can really help your users feel a little bit more familiar and at home when using the app. The first of the larger updates to cover today is documents. We've found over the years that field-based teams often still need to carry around some paperwork, risk assessments, COSH, toolbox talks, work instructions, and so on. As we're committed to reducing the need for any paperwork, we've developed documents to be uploaded by head office or back office teams, which are then accessible by the mobile users within the app, allowing them to simply download and view them at any time. To get started with this, on the left-hand side, near navigation, you'll find a new documents option. This will show you all of the documents you have uploaded. In our account here we have a selection of TBTs, risk assessments, work instructions, but it can contain any type of document that you want to be able to send to your users to view. To make sure the documents can be viewed on any device, we've limited the upload to PDF files only, so if you do have a Word document to share, please PDF it first. This will make sure that all users can view it, regardless if they're Android, iOS, or have Office installed. To upload a new document, simply click on Upload New Document in the top right-hand corner and select your file to upload. Within the mobile app, if we wanted to view these documents, select our menu button in the top left and then select Documents. This is going to show us a list of all of our documents that we've uploaded, placed into folder views depending on the files that you've uploaded, and you can simply select the folder and file to view. In this case, I'll select Toolbox Talk and then select Working at Height Safely, and it will automatically download and view the file. As this can be used for any type of file, we really do encourage users just to upload all of their documents in there, and that just makes it a lot easier for all of your users to be able to view them on their device in real time. We've also created a new field to embed these uploaded documents into a form, which is ideal for things like risk assessments for any job packs, or TBTs if you're filling out a training register. So please do check out the new document viewer field in the form builder, and we'll also touch on that a little bit later in the video. The most exciting update in this release, however, is our new form experience. This encompasses a host of changes. So the first thing you'll notice is the visual improvements. Our design approach here was to make it a little bit easier for users to be able to work through fields in larger forms, especially with a lot of checklist yes/no type questions. And the new design helps to structure fields and provide better feedback to the users for required and completed fields. There are also a lot of core improvements too. We've redesigned a lot of the background and all of the techie stuff that I won't bore you with, but this now means that offline mode has been greatly improved, removing the limitation for photo uploads, and everything's also synced in real time when the device is online. We're really excited to have made this step as it helps us support and continuous growth of the app and everything that we've got planned in the near future. With that, we've already started developing a lot of new features and configuration options, which we'll cover off in this video. As there are quite a few, I won't go through the setup for each of these, but please do get in touch if you'd like to know a little bit more about any of them. Firstly, let's cover off some of the new field options. Captions now support linking. This means that any URLs in a caption will show as a link which the user can click on to open, but more importantly, any UK phone numbers will automatically be converted to a click to dial link, so you can simply click on the number to then open up your phone dialer. Short answer fields now support system placeholders such as device.name in the default value, which is great for defaulting the user's name and allowing them to change it if required. There's also a new capitalized words option to support uppercase instead of the previous option, which was simply uppercasing the first letter of each word. And choice fields now have the ability to unselect the option if it's clicked again. We've also applied this to select options as well that can be unselected by using the bin icon if it was selected by mistake. Select fields using options have the ability to set a default value, and a very useful feature is the extended view, which allows you to select and show any other fields from the list option that the user might need to be able to see. QR and barcode fields now support the use of an external input, such as a manually typed barcode, or using a keyboard wedge Bluetooth barcode scanner instead of using a camera. Photo fields can be optionally configured to save the photo taken in the app into your photo gallery, just in case you want to keep that for safekeeping and future reference. And repeaters have received quite a few new improvements. Firstly, collapsible repeaters are handy when working with new forms and hundreds of repeater items. By enabling this, only the header is shown as you add new repeater items, which will help the user navigate the form and can be reopened when pressing the header name. This pairs really nicely with overriding the captions, which allows you to define a custom name for that repeater, including any field values with inside it. Copy previous values adds a new duplicate button which copies the values from the previous repeater. This is really useful if fields often repeat the same data as the user is going through. The fields required on new option will check that all required fields within that repeater have been populated before the user can go on to create a new repeater. It's just a simple check to make sure that the user has completed each field before moving on, rather than having to go back at a later stage just in case they missed something. Lastly, around repeaters, in some cases it's common that the same value needs to be set on each repeater. In this case, you can save time for the users by enabling copy value on repeat, which is support on short answer, select fields, and numbers. On the topic of repeating data, we've found quite a few use cases where users need to enter the same values, such as selecting their site or location on every new form that they start, which can become quite time-consuming. We've implemented a new feature named Smart Lock, which is support on short answers, choices, selects, and numbers, which when enabled shows this padlock icon at the top of the field. Once the user's provided the value, you can now lock the value in, meaning that it will be automatically set when the user starts a new form moving forward. So now that we've covered some of these updates to existing fields, let's now look at the new fields. The simplest of them all is the new variable field. In many advanced cases, you need to store a value in the form, either as part of logic or visibility rules, which the user doesn't necessarily need to see. In the past, we've achieved that by using a short answer field and a visibility rule, which meant it was never shown to the user. The variable field gives you the same functionality, including default values, but is never shown on the app. Moving on to illustrations, this is one we've come across a few times, being able to draw in the app or mark up on existing images. A common example of this is vehicle checks, which include a car diagram to mark up any damage. Illustration fields allow you to either provide the user with a blank canvas to draw on or upload a custom image to mark up. If we open the illustration on the app here, we'll see that we've got a set of tools at the top of the screen which allow you to change the style between freehand, line support, eraser tools, adding text, thickness options, and the ability to change colour from the palette. In this example, we've uploaded the car diagram which I can easily mark any damage on and then press the tick to save the drawing. We've already got plans to extend this in the near future to support illustrated photos, which we can also mark damage or areas of interest against, and upload those as part of the standard photo field. Another new field here is pin codes. So this is a great way to capture a numeric pin such as the employee number when completing a form. In some cases on forms where, let's say, you're using shared devices, the forms need to be restricted based on certain logic or employee permissions. This can now be achieved using the pin code instead of a selection, and can also validate the pin against a list. In the settings, you can define a pin code length, the list, and the list field which contains the pin code. In this case, we're validating against the list of employees, and within there, we're looking for the PIN in the payroll number column. We can also filter based on form fields such as the site that they're at, and then use populate from list to copy data from the matched employee. Lastly, and then coming back to that documents functionality I mentioned earlier, you can now add a document viewer field to your forms to link back to any documents that have been uploaded. The document dropdown allows you to select any of those documents, and as it's embedded in the form, the required setting ensures the user has opened the document, which is great for risk assessments or any documentation that's important to read before they complete the form. You can even pair this with visibility rules to hide the form fields before the user has opened and read the document. Now, that brings us to the end of our 1.6 updates. We're excited to really start releasing these out and getting your feedback. As I mentioned, we're slowly releasing them out to all accounts, so you will start seeing them appear soon. However, if you do have any feedback on this video, or if I've covered off any features that you'd really like to start using immediately, please do get in touch and we'll be happy to prioritize. As always, we really do appreciate the feedback that we received. This helps us to develop the features around the real use cases and ultimately shapes the future of Culverdocs. If you have any suggestions for new features that would help improve your efficiency, we'd love to hear them. We can hopefully build them into our roadmap for future updates. We'll keep you updated as new features and functionality gets released. We'll also be releasing detailed videos on some of the topics that we've covered today, so please do keep a lookout for them. Have a great day.